don't care what's happening in my life. I'm gonna do what I need to do to get to my goals and to make my life the way I wanted it. Now I'm taking full responsibility to how I responded to the accident. I put that food in my mouth. I decided to cope that way. I'm not going to shame myself for doing what I did. It's tough. Losing weight is not easy. It is so not easy, but it can be done. Here we go. These videos are never, ever easy. It's fun documenting your weight loss journey, but when you have times of struggle, it can get a little challenging to share, but here we go. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome. My name is Daniela, and I'm on a journey to lose over 100 pounds. It has been a struggle. My lowest weight on this journey, I lost a total of 73 pounds, and we are not far from that. We're just going through some hurdles, lots of struggles, but the beauty in struggle is that you find your strength if you have the mindset and the will to do so. And acquiring that mindset, if you don't have it, is going to be a lot of work. Losing weight is not easy. We have to challenge our norms. We have to challenge our habits. We have to cut out things. But as my friend from Your Pal Misty says, it's not that you are losing something, you are gaining something. You're gaining better health, you're gaining strength, you are gaining confidence. So let's think about it in that way. So here is my I gained weight, but I'm not worried. Why am I not worried? Because I have all of the weapons with me this time around, and tenfold. I've got my past experience with dealing with losing weight while being metabolically ill, having fatty liver disease, having chronic inflammation in my back and my hips. I was able to make that transformation. So I'm able to make this transformation again with this car accident I've been in, which has been very, very rough. The worst part of dealing with the concussion symptoms was not being able to work out for 3 months. If I was able to work out, I probably would have maintained my lowest weight of 209. But because we removed all physical activity and I was completely sedentary, the most sedentary I've been in my life, lying down, struggling with all of the symptoms, being dizzy, being nauseous, chronic headaches, sharp nerve pain in my neck, raining down my arms, not to mention my lower back pain and my pelvic pain issues. And sometimes when you deal with chronic pain, you kind of struggle within and you tell yourself, you're just being lazy, suck it up, just get it done. And the thing about pain is that it's invisible. And I'm currently seeing a headache specialist that really reassured me with things. She understands and was telling me that pain can really disturb your whole mindset, your mentality, the way your brain operates. Like, your body doesn't respond to pain normally when you've been in chronic pain for so long. It can cause a lot of stress in someone's life. But no matter what the burden is, we are going to find a way to get through. And I'm so glad I'm meeting all of these amazing professionals who have been helping me in my recovery from this car accident. From my 2 physiotherapists to my occupational therapist to the headache specialist I recently met and my psychologist that I recently met. It's been really difficult. I've had moments where I wanted to give up. The depression was so bad. I told my doctor everything, all the thoughts I was having. Her and I are in a good place. She is managing me and she is watching me. So I've got healthcare professionals watching me. So please do not worry. So this is literally the most weight I have ever gained on this journey. Literally the most weight. And this journey, it's been rough. It's been tough. Let's flash back to 2020 when lockdowns happened and I moved here to Calgary. I had challenges with my weight loss then, trying to adjust to a new way of living, moving from Toronto to Calgary, halfway around the country. It's a completely different culture out here, not having any friends, not having any families. That was challenging, but I got through that adjustment. Then 2021 came around, and that's when I entered a program to start my career in the trades. I started working as a new home construction plumber. My first employer was really tough. I had to leave because I was not in a good space professionally. I've explained that in my journey throughout. And then I got a new job, and then unfortunately that company laid me off in November, which is totally normal for the trades when the winter comes around. Notice the theme here, guys. Change is a hard thing for me to go through. So going from not working to working, then to not working, that was a challenge. And that's when I decided to step up my YouTube game. I started doing Vlogmas. I uploaded videos like all through December. And that's where I found Caroline Girvin. Cue in early 2022, where I was unemployed, but I was determined to make something happen. And that's when I jumped into doing Caroline Girvin's workouts. I kind of invested in myself, and I stumbled upon doing her epic endgame. And I was literally in the best shape of my life. If you haven't checked out that video, I will link it in the iCard above, documenting that entire journey. I put on so much muscle. I decided to tackle binge eating back then when I had my old therapist I was working with. I was doing what I eat in the days, and I was on point. Then April 2022 came around, and I found a new job with an awesome company, and I was happy. But again, it was a change. It was a change from being at home to jumping into the trades. Now, as a plumber, I am working 8 hours a day. I'm on my feet, I'm hauling pipe, I'm super physical. So it was a lot of change with adjusting my nutrition, adjusting my calories to ensure I have enough calories to get me through the day, but just a little less so I can continue on this weight loss journey. It was a struggle adjusting, but then my birthday came around, and literally 4 days after my birthday, I was finally in a zone where I'm like, I got this. I'm handling, the new workload, juggling YouTube, juggling family life, juggling it all. And then one day when I was on my lunch break, I left site. I ended up getting T-boned by someone who was looking at their cell phone pulling out from a gas station. And that's where things changed. It changed in a way that I did not expect it to. She was driving a muscle car. I was driving a Hyundai Venue, made in Korea. It's a very non-North American car, so it's very flimsy, and that car ended up being wrecked. And I hit my head pretty badly. I blacked out for a second, and then I just remember freaking out trying to get out of the car because I literally thought the car was going to explode. We're not gonna go into the details of the accident because I'm currently reprocessing that with my therapist. So come then came a whole bunch of symptoms I never thought I would ever had in my life. I saw my doctor. She said, this will resolve in 2 weeks. I'm like, okay, 2 weeks, I can do that. And then things deteriorated. I got worse. My fatigue was all over the place. I could not sleep. Literally 2 weeks after the accident, I was on my phone ruminating the safety ratings from my older car, my car that's wrecked, ruminating through car accidents, and I just completely had a mental breakdown, a prolonged mental breakdown. My neck and shoulders were so bad that the physiotherapist and the concussion specialist could not continue to do their assessment on me. That's how bad it was. So it took a couple months for them to fully assess me, and it was tough getting the headaches under control. My blood pressure was really low. My period disappeared for 2 months, and that never happens with my period because it's like clockwork. And I was a whole wreck. And then I discovered that I had a torn rotator cuff. I couldn't even feel the pain in my shoulder because my head was just out of control. My eyesight is off. My eyesight is blurry. There's a whole bunch of things going on with it, but I'm not gonna ruminate it. Concussions are a very difficult thing to treat. People respond differently, and with someone who has pre-existing mental health trauma, having physical trauma does not help things. So that's when I fell again into another depression, which I'm not happy about. I'm quite embarrassed to talk about, but I shouldn't be. It's life, things happen. I shouldn't be embarrassed to being that low. I was embarrassed about being depressed and behaving the way I did because I truly pride myself as a person who tries to find a way out of difficult situation. I pride myself as a person who looks at the solution as opposed to the problems, to overcome, to find that spiritual strength and that motivation to just be like, I don't care what's happening in my life, I'm gonna do what I need to do to get to my goals and to make my life the way I wanted it. But at that time, I saw no way out and I was deep and down, and I turned to food. I was diagnosed with disordered eating. I've always had issues with eating ever since I was a child. I was very weird with food. I was diagnosed with it by a psychiatrist about 10 years ago, where I can go on the binge end of the spectrum or the under eating end of the spectrum, and I have struggled with things in terms of, think about it, when you overeat, your stomach's full and you don't feel the greatest, what do certain people do? And I have struggled with that. Now I'm taking full responsibility to how I responded to the accident. I put that food in my mouth. I decided to cope that way. I'm not going to shame myself for doing what I did. It's well known that when you have one traumatic event, it kind of makes it worse when you have another traumatic event. And my response hasn't been all negative. The last 3 months, of course, has been hard. I was dealing with headaches, dizziness, fatigue, all of that straight. But then it clicked in me and I was like, I am not going to go down this road again. I am not going to balloon to almost 300 pounds, and I am going to stay committed to myself. I remember that promise I made to myself when I was hospitalized for depression back in 2017, that I was never going to give up on myself, and that promise still holds strong. So come September, I started getting more help for my mental health. I started seeing my psychologist. My OT is working with me. And this psychologist literally kind of changed things for me very significantly. She introduced EMDR therapy, and I don't know what is going on, but that stuff is powerful, very powerful, and I've been able to get my binging under control. I had 2 days of relapses, which is what I mentioned in the last video, and I told my psychologist about this yesterday, and she was like, progress is never linear. You're gonna go up and down. I had 2 days of binging out of how many days? I can't do math. 13. Like, you're doing well. So ever since I had those 2 days of binging, I've reeled everything in and I'm back on track. Now, in my last video, I believe I briefly saw a comment and someone said, in order to prevent binging, you shouldn't have foods in your house that trigger your binging. I'm well aware of that, but when you have a severe disordered eating situation like I do, I'll binge on anything. I'll binge on anything I see. I don't have any junk food in my house, nothing. But when you're in that state of mind, you will find anything. But I'm not in that state of mind anymore. So in that video where I did my mental wellness routine for weight loss, all of those mechanisms there have been really helping me. And my calorie calendar has been really crucial. I'm gonna stop sharing it because I am doing something different with my diet. But first, let's jump into what you all been waiting for. How much weight did I really gain post-accident? Before the accident, I was sitting at around 209 pounds. After the accident, I did gain 20 pounds. I gained 20 pounds. That's 20 pounds after months and months of purely overeating like an asshole. but I forgive myself because I'm very happy with how I'm responding to the situation as of right now. And that's all you can do. Don't focus on the past. Focus on what you're doing right now to make those changes. So since putting on all that weight, I restarted my entire weight loss journey on September 4th. That's when things clicked in. I saw my therapist a few days ago. That's when she first introduced EMDR to me. And then I binged like a crazy person on September 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. And then it all clicked into my head. I don't know what happened. I don't know if this is voodoo. I don't know what EMDR is, but it's freaking powerful, and I'm so glad I found my psychologist. So I was sitting at 229.8 pounds. I was sitting there for a while, and I remember binging, trying to get myself to 230. I don't even know why. It never moved. My body on this weight loss journey, for some reason, just skips the 230s. I don't remember ever seeing 230 on the scale. I don't know. This is like the tricky spots, the 220s. Anyway, since then, since September 4th, I've lost 6.6 pounds and I believe 7 inches in total. I will put everything on the screen here. I lost inches in my waist, as you can see. Loose skin, hello, loose skin. Loose skin is a sign that I am strong. It's not anything else but that. And I lost a bit on my legs, not too much. I didn't lose anything in my upper body because I have not been really exercising it due to the torn rotator cuff. So yeah, I am now sitting at 223.2 pounds. Now let's talk about what I'm currently doing with my nutrition, because every time I have a new EMDR session, I just switch things around. I don't know what's going on. I'm just trying to break through this barrier right now because I have metabolic disease, guys. It's obvious. I was diagnosed with fatty liver disease. And when you have a metabolic disease, it makes it harder to lose weight. But it's not impossible because I did make this transformation. Now, going forward, because my body is just so resilient and it's fighting me, yes, it's calories in, calories out, but again, you gotta take in the metabolic factors into things. You really do, because that's why losing weight is hard. That's why people quit, because if it was just calories in and calories out, everyone would be losing weight. But there comes a point on your weight loss journey where I've seen many weight loss YouTubers talk about this, where they've eaten too low calories, and there's a reason for that. It's because our body wants to stay in homeostasis, and you can get stuck at eating a very low calorie rate and not really see progress unless you push it really lower. Like, it does happen. But again, I've stated I'm a big believer in counting calories. That's why I count calories while doing keto. And I'm also a big believer that there's other things at play here when it comes to weight loss, which is why it's incredibly hard. So here I am at the point in this journey. I've lost 3 pounds per week in the last 2 weeks, 3.3 pounds. That's a good weight loss. I'm gonna try to push it a bit harder, and I've decided to do Omad. We'll see how it rolls. I'm sharing with you my journey. This is what I'm doing. Remember, I lost most of my weight doing keto and intermittent fasting. So I'm just doing an extreme version of intermittent fasting known as Omad. We're gonna try it out for a bit. It seems to be working, seems to be keeping things at bay. Again, I use these tools to help keep me in a caloric deficit. That is the point. I use keto to keep me in a caloric deficit. But now we're gonna get some other things at play because, again, I do have metabolic disease, and we are gonna fight this with every tool I got. When it comes to weight loss, everyone, just do what works for you. Do not listen to the noise out there. Find something and stick to it. As Louise Hayes has said in her meditations, that every weight loss plan works. They all work. The problem is, it's a struggle to stick to it. So find what works for you. If you are struggling mentally, if you're going through tons of stress and you're emotionally eating, please get mental health, because nothing is going to work unless this does. This is all mental. What we put in our mouth, that is a mental decision to put it in our mouth. And sometimes we just struggle with it because there may be trauma, there may be ways that we weren't taught nutrition right, or what have you. Get the mind right and do everything you can to improve every area of your life. Take it one small step at a time. Yes, this journey is hard. Yes, you're gonna have weight gains. You're gonna have up and down and up and down, but it's normal. What you have to do is just find a way to move forward. Find it. You have all the answers within you. And if you don't, go seek them. Go seek help. Go seek information. It's tough. Losing weight is not easy. It is so not easy, but it can be done. It's just a matter of giving yourself the tools to make it happen, and life will get in the way like it has done for me, and I'm sure it has done for you. But know that you are worth putting in that effort to make the changes you want to see in your life. Know that there is a power within you that can overcome any obstacle in your life. You do have it in you. You just have to take the leap. It's gonna be hell. It's gonna be struggle. You are going to fail, but you have to keep reminding yourself that in the midst of that failure, you are going to move forward. You are going to find a way. You may be down, but you are not out. If you're gonna fall, make sure you fall flat on your back so you can look up to get up. I got that one from Les Brown. That's one of his best ones. If you made it to the end of the video, please drop in 3 suns, because there will be sunny days ahead for us. If the clouds come, we are gonna learn how to dance in the rain and keep moving forward. I will see you guys on Thursday. Send you guys mad love. You got this. Bye.